Instrument that analyze, summarize, organize, debate, explain information that are illustrative, hardboard paper, back-jacketed, non-jacketed, with forward, introduction, table of content that are intended for enlightenment, enrichment, enhancement, and education of human brain through sensory routes of vision, sometimes touch. Hope you heard this dialogue from a very famous, inspiring movie, Three Idiots. The definition of books, Amir Khan says in one of the scene. Hope you remember it. I'm a huge fan of it. So this defines our education system. Hello and welcome to Nafeez Learner Zone. Today I'm going to speak about the new education policy which has given a hope of bringing lots of changes. The new education policy which gives hopes that the number of chaturs will be less in the society and the ranchers are going to be increased. So what changes this new education policy has brought in? What changes is there in the primary stage, the middle stage, in the high school, in the college, what for teachers, everything we are going to discuss in this video. When it is going to change, everything, what all the questions you have, most of the things I'm going to cover in this. Just wait and watch this. The major thing what has been changed is the structure of the education system. Earlier, what we used to study, the 10+2 system, the 10 years of schooling, 2 years of pre-university, has been changed with the new structure of 5+3+3+4. So what is this 5+3+3+4? So this 5 years is the foundational stage, pre-nursery, LKG, UKG, first, second standard. We have preparatory stage of third and fourth standard, fifth standard, 3 years. Then middle stage, which includes 6th, 7th and 8th standard, and secondary stage from 9, 10, 11 and 12th standard. After that, as usual, graduation. So what are the individual changes in each thing, each stage we are going to discuss in this video in detail. Watch this video till the end. It's a long video, but that's necessary because lots of information has been covered. If you go to read the PDF, which is 60+ pages, that's difficult. Watch this video to get it. If you are having any questions at the end of the video, please write down in the comment section below. I will help you out in solving it. So in this new education policy, what big change has formed in the foundational stage? The foundational stage, that is from the age group of 3 to 8. What changes the government has made? What changes this NEP brings? The major change which has been brought is the Anganwadis, which was a separate part, has been integrated with the schooling system, where now a child learns in a foundational stage from the age of 3 to 8, that is pre-nursery, LKG, UKG, first standard and second standard. These 5 years has been clubbed, which was separate in the earlier one. So by clubbing with this, how the education will be in these 5 years? As these 5 years is the time where the kids learn by playing. So the more importance has been given for the playful activities. So it's a kind of a they will be playing games with the different games and the activities. The knowledge will be infused in that blooming buddies. So those at that age, that is required. It was happening in the previous time also in most of the schools. Now it has been made a compulsion. We have to wait and see how the implementation goes on. What will be focused mainly is the literacy and the numeracy, which is very, very important. So 100% literacy and 100% numeracy has to be attained by this time for this fundamental stage or the foundational stage. Numeracy and literacy. What is literacy? Literacy is a child must be able to read, write and learn. Okay, read, write and speak. So that is literacy. If you are able to read, if you are able to write, if you are able to speak, then you are literate. It's not educated. So the system what we all have studied, many students even after studying high schooling, college, they have just become literate, they are not become educated. So now what the plan by NEP is that a child must be attain that literacy and numeracy. What is numeracy? Numeracy is about the mathematics. That's about you should be able to know the fundamentals of mathematics, the basic operations, that is the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These things are the numeracy. So this numeracy and literacy should be achieved by this foundational stage or the preparatory stage. By the preparatory stage at least, that has to be achieved in by this NEP says that we have to wait and see for the implementation. Fine, let's go for the next level. The preparatory stage is majorly play based, activity based and interactive classroom based. As the students are still younger in this category who are studying third, fourth and fifth standard, that's very important to engage them with the playful mode in the activity based. There are lots of activities. This curriculum is going to be reduced and it's more of activities. By means of activities, students are going to learn in this, which were there already. Those were studying in the last few years in some CBSE schools and ICSE schools, all those things. This was the curriculum. Even state board also, as the NCERT books are adopted, lots of activity based are there. In the implementation way, we might have failed a bit, but theoretically this NEP also says the same. Then when it comes to middle stage, that is from the class 6, 7 and 8, now a child, he has the ability to experience something, experience and learn. So that is why the major changes which has brought here is experiential learning. Most of the foreign countries believes in this. They go for experiential learning. That was lacking in India. Even though it has been said in the previous education policy also, and many schools has followed, doesn't mean that it has not been done. It has followed, and a lot of things we have come up with, a lot of project work kind of work, a lot of research works and all those things where a child experiences it and learns it. And the practical work, by practical work a child experience. The same thing here it says is experiential learning in science, social, mathematics, everything. Usually in science the experiential learning was going on. Now mathematics and social also it goes on. Mathematics also, the math by the help of math lab, with the help of science lab, all those things, it was going on in many schools. That is going to be still more improved as per to this NEP 2020. And the major thing here is, up to this 8th standard also, the NEP suggests the medium of instruction to be regional language or the mother tongue, which is quite controversial thing according to me and many educationists, many people who have expressed their views. This is controversial as a particular, suppose our state Karnataka has many different languages. Our state language is Kannada, no doubt about it. There is whether Kannada, then but mother, there are many different people has different mother tongue. So to go with the regional language or the mother tongue is a question mark. If we go with the regional language, in case if if a child learns few years in Karnataka, then if they have to relocate to other state, in the other state the same language schools will not be available. If we go with mother tongue, then again we have to restrict with some kind of students with the same mother tongue to be a different school. So it's a bit challenging. We need to wait and see how it will be implemented. I personally feel that the mother tongue and regional language both should be included in curriculum, but the major subject should be taught in English. The first few years like pre-nursery, LKG, UKG, first, second, that should be taught in mother tongue. That's very important because a child learns only mother tongue in the primary stages, and he couldn't be able to understand suddenly a different language when he or she is exposed to the school environment. So that is required. But after that, when we introduce the subjects like science, mathematics, social, it has to be taught in one particular language. And at present, it seems to be English which is having the major demand, but it's all individual opinion wants to go, and what government takes the decision in implementation, we have to wait and watch. Then the secondary stage, there are lots of changes has happened here. The secondary stage, in secondary stages now there will be compulsory vocational courses. Even it's been said that even from 6th standard, that's the middle stage, also the vocational courses is going to start. Vocational courses like gardening, like bookkeeping, like carpentry work, like mechanical work, many works which India we don't give much value for that. We think that there is no formal education required for that, that will be learned by experience. It can be learned, but why don't we bring it to the mainstream, where many countries like US, Japan, Russia, so many countries, France, so many countries has made it compulsory. In the same way, even in India, we are going to bring this beautiful change. That's a very good positive thing, that vocational courses are introduced. So even for teaching that, there will be some experienced, suppose if somebody has to teach carpentry, experienced carpenter without a formal education also can be hired to teach the students those skills. So skill based education, what is required, a student should have skills. Those skills will be given in the middle stage and the secondary stages to a student, which is a very good move according to me. Then along with that, it will be a multidisciplinary course. That is, when it comes to this ninth, 10th, 11th and 12th, in the secondary stage, student have an option to choose the subject. Students can choose the subject in 9th standard itself, like we used to choose after 10th standard in what we call the pre-university education, PU, where student used to go for arts, commerce or science. Now what is it? Now whether it is there, that's a major change. Now a student need not to restrict to only science, only arts or commerce. No such hard separation has been made. That's when the student enters the secondary stage, students will have an option to choose different subject. It's a great move. I feel great move. I, being a science teacher, I personally very much interested in studying economics, studying political science. Usually, if any of my world students are watching this video, they know that even along with science, I had taught them economics and political science also for many students. I'm very much interested in that. But being a science student in the past decade, at the time I didn't had any such option. At present, those are studying, even they don't have option. But definitely on the implementation of this national education policy, they will have new education policy. They will get that option where they can study economics with physics, for example, biology with political science also, accounts with mathematics also. There are lots of lots of freedom for the students to choose their own subject. That's a very good move. I wish I would have been there in such system, thinking that it will be implemented properly. The implementation we have to wait and see, as I am saying again and again. Okay, so when actually this will be implemented? So this NEP says that by 2025, the vocational course, 50% of the students should be exposed to vocational courses by 2025. 5 years we have to wait. But the syllabus, the curriculum is going to change. The class 9 curriculum is going to change by 2021-22. 2021-22, in the sense the next academic year it's going to change. This year they are going to frame the new curriculum, and as per to that it is going to be implemented next year, and following 10th will be in 2022-23. It is going to change. The same batch which comes by 21-22 class 9 batch is going to get change of syllabus, change of books year by year. So by 22-23, 23-24 and 24-25 up to 12th also, the curriculum is going to completely change. So for the complete change, we have to wait for another 4 to 5 years. That's in secondary stage. Now, some general changes, let us look in detail now.